Am I allowed to talk? Oh,
You can talk about anything you want.
this is the thing. I've never taken steroids before,
Okay.
right? Never have, like, swear on my life. And there's a lot of people on my YouTube channel. Well, I would say there's a large chunk of them who probably think I am or have done at some point. I've competed twice before. The first time was in 2014, second time 2015. And the reason for me competing was, but I think for me it was more just to get the experience out of it, because I'd never done something like that before. I'd never gone through such a disciplined and rigorous prep. And I think as well, for me to be a coach, it just adds a lot more to your knowledge and experience if you've gone through the process yourself. You know not only what is required from the training and nutrition, but just the mental aspects of it as well. I think, like most people do, the first time you do a competition, you make a lot of mistakes. I didn't have a coach. I was designing everything for myself, the training, the nutrition. So there was a few. I think the biggest mistakes I made was just under eating a little bit, maybe doing a little bit too much cardio, but never had I ever been so disciplined before in my life. Obviously, I did that for, it was an 8-week, 12-week prep. But on the day of the competition, that was the leanest I'd ever been. I lost a bit of size, but I was very happy with the way I looked. So the second time I decided to compete, it was more so just to have that goal once again, because that was the one thing which I couldn't match after I'd done that first competition. I tried to, obviously get myself into that condition again, but I couldn't without having that goal of being on stage again. And I had my friends and co-workers as well. They were like, come on, Mike, you should probably do it again. Because in the first competition, I placed third. And I thought, do you know what? Maybe I've got a chance to maybe get top 2, which I thought was perfectly possible. But what was interesting the second time round, for whatever reason, maybe because I was doing the WBFF, I guess it had got more attention and more people had signed up and entered the competition. I did the muscle model, and there's the fitness model, muscle model. I was kind of in between, and I got there and everyone was massive, having like 10 kilos more of lean muscle on me. And I got there and I just thought, this is a joke, because it wasn't regulated, there was no testing, and it was almost just a matter of, right, okay, who's willing to take the most steroids? Because that's what it is these days. If you want to get yourself to the very extremes, you are going to have to take some dosage of steroid, because everyone else is doing it. And that was when it was just clear to me that it wasn't something which I was passionate about or something I believed in. Especially, it's just a completely unlevel playing field. If you're a completely natural athlete competing with all these people who've been taking God knows what, you have no chance. So after that experience, and I didn't place because I couldn't match those guys who I was in the same category with. I just decided it's not for me. It's not something that I want to be forced into, and a situation where I have to take something in order to have that chance of winning. And it was after that competition I decided I'm never going to compete again unless it's a natural show, which is fully tested. Quite a lot of people ask me this question, who do you look up to? In terms of who I get my knowledge from, it's often those individuals who are a lot older than me, so they've been in the game for a while. So people who often have their own businesses, at some point in their life they've been in good condition, they know how to get in good condition, and they're just generally very good role models. But in terms of where I get my inspiration from, I don't really need to look for external sources of motivation or look up to people. The motivation definitely comes from within me, and a lot of the time I'm most motivated when I let myself go a little bit slack with training or nutrition. I see my physique slip a little bit. It's often the case I get a bit slack with the nutrition, so I'll probably put on a little bit more body fat than usual. And when I start to see the definition slip a little bit, I'm just like, whoa, like, what's going on there? Like, that's not acceptable. So I'll see myself in the mirror, I'm like, nah, we're gonna sort this out. There's a lot of people who they're really into the science, and there's a fine line. You can't just go by what the studies have shown, because the studies aren't always done with, bodybuilders. They're often done with just the average person. And you need to have this balance of understanding the science behind why you're doing what you're doing, the training and the nutrition. But the experience is also very important, because that teaches, with the experience I've had with all of my clients, watching the effects of a specific training program or specific nutrition approaches can be, sometimes completely different to what the studies have shown. It really went to the next level once we opened our own studio that we called This Is Our Place. And I was 23 at the time, and I had my own gym, which was crazy, because everyone was just like, whoa, okay, Mike's pretty serious about this. Both of us had loads of clients at that point, and we were pretty well known in Newcastle, but we were training out of other gyms. I owe them a lot for letting us train from their premises, but it wasn't, in our eyes, it just wasn't a kind of the place we wanted. We wanted our own place. It was a good few months looking around potential studios where we could have our headquarters. That was hard work. Having your own gym is a nice thought, but it's a hell of a lot of work. In a year's time, I definitely see myself obviously doing the same thing, but I would like to have a team of people behind me, because my journey has been a very individual one. And it's to a point now where I'm trying to do everything by myself. I'm doing YouTube by myself, filming, editing, answering emails, putting programs together, advertising, social media. It's all a little bit overwhelming now, and I feel like what I need to be doing is focusing on my strengths. So generating content, but at the same time, I need to be perfecting my craft and expanding my knowledge. So I need to spend a lot of time investing into learning new things and allowing other people to take control of the tasks which I don't necessarily need to be spending all my time on. And I think I want to be in a situation where I'm constantly surrounded by people, because if you are, you go into the gym, you're self-employed or you work from home, it can be quite a lonely scenario, which I definitely learnt last year from having my own studio up in Newcastle, where I was constantly surrounded by people. I moved down to London and I was like, right, I'm going to smash YouTube. I'm living by myself so I can concentrate on doing my own thing. I'm in this new environment where I'd moved away from all my friends. Day in, day out, I wasn't really, mingling with other people, and it became a very, lonely profession. If you are in the situation where you're not getting your other needs fulfilled socially, that can lead you to become a little bit depressed, and if you're depressed, that can then lead you to eat some of the things that you shouldn't be eating, and it's all a little bit of a downward spiral. So I think for me, in a year's time, I want to be in a situation where I have a team behind me, where I'm meeting with them every day, for them to help motivate me and get the best from me, and for my brand to really, well, for my name as well, to really be out there for the masses to see.